If you're anything like me and you absolutely love gaming, your biggest issue is probably stick drift. Because let's face it, one of the worst things in gaming is when you sit down to play a game and your controller just starts drifting. It sucks. And if that is you, then you've probably done some research and you've probably heard of this. This is the Gamesir T7 Pro. Now, if you haven't heard of Gamesir, they're a company that makes a variety of products. However, they mostly focus on aftermarket controllers for Xbox, PC, and Switch. And in that lineup, they offer some more high-end, more expensive wireless controllers, all the way down to some wired, more affordable ones. And the one we're talking about today is one of the more budget ones. It's still 50 bucks, but honestly, that's not bad considering what a lot of controllers run for these days. And one of the reasons that Gamesir is so well known in the gaming community is because their controllers are specifically designed to resist stick drift and wear of any kind. So as I said earlier, this is the Gamesir T7 Pro wired controller for Xbox. This specific one is the Floral Design, and it's honestly pretty awesome looking. If you're at all into Rainbow Six Siege, this gives off Black Ice vibes, which just makes it look even cooler in my opinion. This controller runs for $49.99 USD and is compatible with the Xbox One, Series S, Series X, and your PC as long as you have Windows 10 or 11. Jumping into what you get in the box, you obviously get the controller itself, you get a USB Type-C connecting cord, Gamesir sticker, an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Scratch-Off, which is cool. They provide QR codes to link to their software, and then the user manual. As I mentioned earlier, because this is on the more budget side of their controllers, it's not wireless. You have to use the included cord, but that's what you get for 50 bucks. One of the main selling points for these controllers is that they're actually Hall effect controllers. And all Hall effect means is instead of using physical contact to detect trigger or joystick movement, it's using magnets and sensors to detect that movement. And all that does is eliminate the wear and tear that causes what we call stick drift. So that technology is built into this controller, which is what allows it to heavily resist the stick drift that is so common in Xbox standard controllers. As far as the layout itself, the front is going to be pretty much same as a standard Xbox controller. You do have a mute button for your headphone jack, which is really nice to see. And then obviously you have the headphone jack itself. Turning it around, you've got two customizable paddles on the back. And when I say customizable, I mean you can bind those for different buttons. And then above those paddles, you have two switches, and all those do are allow you to take your triggers from a really long pull to a much shorter pull. And I'm imagining that would be used for an FPS game to just get better accuracy and shots off. So really cool to see there. And then another really cool feature is once the controller is plugged in and turned on, it has really nice RGB. And it's not just on or off. Once it's on, if you move your joystick or pull a trigger or push a button, it actually, the light responds to that. And it gives a really cool feeling when you're playing games and just you can see the lights change. It's really cool. So that was a nice touch that they added. Something else that was nice to see that Gamesir did was they have their proprietary software, and it's really nice. And it's not just available for PC. You can actually get it on your Xbox, which is really cool. I got it. So you can go in and you can customize pretty much everything about this controller. You can change the sensitivity on the joysticks, obviously, you know, all your standard stuff, but you can go in and do pretty much anything you can think of to customize this controller for your game that you're playing. And you can have, I think it's up to 3 different profiles, so you can just flip between those. And it's just really nice depending on what game you're playing. You can just completely change the profile of this controller. So that was very well thought out, and I really like that. So wrapping it up, my thoughts on the Gamesir T7 Pro. At first, I'll be honest, I was skeptical. I was thinking 50 bucks, it feels a little bit lighter, kind of cheaper than the standard controllers. It's not wireless. Why is it $50? But I will say, after downloading the software, getting to use that, seeing the RGB inside this guy, and just the fact that I'm confident that I will not get stick drift with this, I feel like it's totally worth the $50. I don't think that's too much to ask for what you're getting in this package. And trust me, I'm not just saying that. I do have some experience with Xbox controllers. For instance, this is I think this is the Series 2. This is the Elite controller from Xbox. This was $180. This is an expensive premium controller. And I love this controller. You can customize anything about this controller. It's got the paddles on the back. It's super heavy. It feels premium. It's rubberized. It's great. But after 3 days, yes, 3 days of using this controller, I had noticeable stick drift, which when you pay $180 for a controller, to me, that's just unacceptable, but that's where we're at. I did a ton of research. People are having the same problems across the board. I love Xbox as a company, but I don't see them doing anything about this issue. So I love this controller, but this won't get stick drift. So I'm gonna use this. That's just the way it is. And yeah, I think it's definitely worth the 50 bucks. There you have it, guys. That was the Gamesir T7 Pro. Thank you so much for watching. I will link this down in the description below so that you can pick one up if you like. And if you do, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to know. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.